Now, going over to the political part podcast, you have the Biden-Harris commercial where they quote-unquote forgive $167 billion in student loans, and Kamala Harris gets ratioed on social media. Now, this comes directly from the donkey's mouth. Kamala Harris says, quote, President Biden and I have canceled $167 billion in student loan debt for nearly 5 million people, and we're not stopping there. We will continue to work to build an economy that works for every American. Learn more at economicopportunity.gov. Now they say work for every American, not plumbers and electricians and folks who didn't take out student loans. They have to pay for that. And again, this is a video she chose to put out. Yeah, it's about a minute 25. We'll hear what they have to say.
Every month I'm hearing about this student loan debt being forgiven by the administration, and how much at this point, how much debt has been forgiven and how many people are benefiting from it?
So, Michael, it's a big issue affecting so many people. We have forgiven now over $160 billion in student loan debt, which has impacted about 5 million people. We are doubling, essentially, the amount of forgiveness if somebody is in public service. So a firefighter, a nurse, a teacher, because God knows we don't pay them enough as it is.
Exactly.
False. Biggest lie of our lifetime. It's based on local tax revenue percentages. So yeah, some places are getting a lot, like Beverly Hills police, firefighters. Yeah, some of them are a lot. Teachers, they make a lot, and they only work, a few months. Also, I keep forgetting, I don't know why I feel so, I need to promulgate this so much. I think that not enough people realize ACT scores are at a 32-year low. Public schools are so inefficient, it's disgusting. Now, granted, there's many variables that go into test scores, I know, but yeah, let's just say, if anything, I think they're overpaid. And the teachers' unions, they are one of the biggest political contributors as well. Spoiler alert, they vote for a bigger and more bloated government.
And so that's that. But the other thing that's really important to get the word out, even if you didn't graduate, you're eligible for student loan debt forgiveness. There are many people who have dropped out simply because they can't afford tuition anymore. And they know that the loans are just stacking up and they can't afford it and they need to go out and get a job instead of being in school. But they still owe that student loan. So we have made the policy so that it's just fair.
It's fair for you and other people to pay off their student loans. I have to pay off their student loans, apparently. Really?
Which is, even if you did not graduate, you are entitled to student loan debt forgiveness. And so please do apply, even if you didn't graduate.
You heard it from the Vice President herself. I think it's incredible what the administration is doing.
And not to add insult to injury, this quote-unquote gentleman is wearing a rudimentary button-up long sleeve. Which again, even if you don't respect the VP, of all the occasions of your life, why don't you at least suit up? But of course not. Just a rudimentary, at least it is better than a polo, but still. Like, really? Is this just to try to be more relatable to the youth? Maybe? I don't know. Now, again, got 883,000 views, but only 8,000 likes, which in terms of like ratio is terrible to say the least. Not to brag, but I did get 4 likes on a video last week. As the youth might say, I went viral, getting like hundreds of views on that one video, I think. But, I mean, going back to this ratio, that's ridiculous. Only 8,000 people like it. And again, I always tell people, if you still have college loans, you should still live as a college student. There's a reason I still drive a Honda and not something a little bit more fun and entertaining. Because I'm doing my part to pay off the loans that I took out. In fact, we can also have a whole debate on the public schools brainwashing kids to think the only way you be successful in life is with going to, getting student loans and going to college. That's ridiculous in and of itself, of course. Now, one of the first comments comes from Paul Zupa saying, quote, there's no such thing as canceling student loan debt. Joe Biden is just making hardworking Americans pay for deadbeats. SCOTUS already ruled this is unconstitutional. Biden is trying to illegally buy votes. Disgraceful. That got 1.5 thousand likes, which, true, the Supreme Court has ruled it unconstitutional, and yet Biden's just going to do whatever he wants. Without any consequence, of course. Just like when they forced landlords not to charge anything during the pandemic. Biden literally said, which can't say in the quiet part out loud, he said to the news, oh yeah, I know it's unconstitutional, but I'm just going to do it. And we'll hammer it out in the courts, and they'll just lose money. Ricky Rule says, madam, you cancel nothing. You assign that debt to taxpayers and the unborn, getting 1.3 thousand likes. Luent says, you canceled $167 billion in student loan after SCOTUS said no, just to buy votes. Remember that. He actually hashtagged Biden and Kamala, getting 133 likes. In contrarian statements. The Rasputin Poll says, wonderful, let's get the plumbers and electricians to pay for liberal arts degrees. Getting 289 likes. Which, yeah, if banks or private, or I was going to say, if smart, they actually had someone looking out for an ROI, no one would be giving money for a college degree in like gender studies or political science or underwater lesbian basket weaving. There's such a high volume of useless degrees. It is ridiculous. Degrees will never give you an ROI, and I would argue really don't add anything to your life. Hankin simply says, no, you stole it from taxpayers, getting 338 likes. Thomas Lund says, so the Biden administration is still ignoring the law and defying the Supreme Court. One of the reasons you'll be out on your ass and tried for treason. Got 134 likes, and is a picture, or is this AI? Looks like it. It's a picture of a hardworking electrician handing over cash to a college student. The fact check, this college student actually has a beard, and as I think some might say, looks like the trad man. More accurately, the college student have, bright orange or pink hair, and probably some nose rings. Which I have no idea why those are getting more and more popular. It's beyond me. White Beard says you canceled nothing. You simply bought votes by transferring the debt to people with real jobs who are responsible. Socialists have no integrity. Getting 403 likes. Let's see here. There's some statistics, though it's not cited, but Liberty Bell says you have canceled nothing. You have transferred the debt to the 59.9% of Americans who pay taxes. 83% owe no student debt. They've paid it off, never borrowed or chosen non-college path. Forcing them to pay for others' debt is tantamount to enslavement, so you can buy votes. Getting 139 likes. Let's see here. Any contrarian statements? Because again, I know there are people who are desperate for getting some sort of break, because again, the student loans are breaking their backs. So a lot of people are desperate to get those loans off. I mean, it will have an impact on their life. Well, everyone's lives, really, as it transfers to us. Let's see here. And yet, I'm not seeing any positive comments. I'll see a nice little Dennis G has a picture or a little screenshot of Biden. Biden tweeted, the Supreme Court blocked me from relieving student debt, but that won't stop me. I relieved student debt for 5 million Americans. I'm going to keep going. Then Biden also tweeted, no one is above the law. Literally 2 days later. That's hilarious. They got 56 likes. Let's see. Brendan has a picture of the hot dog eating champion. It says record 75 wieners in 12 minutes. And has a picture of Kamala saying that's all, hold my beer. Getting 16 likes, which, I mean, there is some truth to the fact that she did sleep her way to the top. Let's see here. Any contrarian statements? And again, this isn't a post by someone who's like on the far right on on the X Twitter. This is from the VP's own account on X Twitter. Let's see here. Did we finally find one? Okay, we did find one, although not really pertinent to the conversation. It is Dr. Eric Jetmir? Jetmir. That is a weird name. Also, it's as weird as a name like Topping. Oh, wait. I partially digress. But nevertheless, he has a picture of Trump, as well as some of his campaign folks, and it has a picture of the word convicted over their heads. They did get 5 likes, so he found, was really coherent, but he did find a contrarian statement. Eric Jetmir. I was just posting random memes of Trump. Writer, ex-Navy, Intel and professional executive producer, CEO, Jetmir Consulting. 10,000 followers. Interesting. Yeah, he has a little blue wave in his profile as well. So we do have one guy. Let's see here. No, we do. Okay, here we go. Here's another contrarian statement. Homer Rosenberg, who I think he's got 3,000 subscribers. He says, quote, great news for student loan borrowers. This is a significant step towards economic fairness and opportunity for all Americans. Granted, he is mentally vacuous. However, he did get 8 likes as people agreed with his statement and 32 responses. Was he ratioed? Not by number of likes, but all the comments are negative. One person says, will you pay my mortgage and car payment? Let's see. Bar Tom Bello says, just another debt to be passed on to people who already paid it. Fred says, what is fair about me for paying someone else's loan? Precisely. But again, he did get 8 likes. So a couple positive comments. It wasn't as bad as Chris Christie. The Chris Christie effect was, in fact, here, a fascinating social media phenomenon. It was twice when Chris Christie was running for the Republican nominee, where he had 0 positive comments in his tweet, which, I mean, statistically speaking, was almost impossible because allegedly Chris Christie had family, friends, and even campaign staff at one point. Yep, when we were covering that, there's 2 times there was no positive comments. Just statistically astronomically improbable. So nevertheless, this was not one of the instances, but I think this will be yet another big political topic going into the presidential election, especially when it comes to inflation is getting worse, people are crunched for cash. Imagine your taxes are going to go up because you have to pay for someone else's loans. I mean, I think Trump should, in terms of moves on the political chessboard, this actually is, you're going to say illegal, but it's also beneficial for both sides. People on the left are going to use this very much to run and say, hey, you're hurting, vote for us, we'll give you free cash. That will buy votes, guaranteed. Then people on the right saying, hey, a lot of your hardworking Americans, is it really fair that you're working 60, 70, 100 hours a week and you have to pay off Kelsey's lesbian dance degree or gender studies degree because she didn't make the right career choice and she took out these loans. So interestingly enough, both sides are going to use this to raise money on the campaign, and it'll be interesting to see what's the majority of Americans, what's the reception to this messaging, what's going to be the most compelling messages for a majority of folks to swing their way. I do have a couple friends who really are in favor of student loan forgiveness, but they're not singular voters. I don't think this will be the one thing that'll get them to vote for that, vote for Biden, Harris. But let me know in the comments. Do you think this will be one of the top topics, and will it sway some of your votes? Let me know. As always, it'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.